Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the 47th President of the United States, President Donald J. Trump, accompanied by First Lady Mrs. Melania Trump.
Did you know that Melania Trump's wedding was not just one of the most extravagant events of its time, but also one that hid several secrets only a few have dared to unravel? It's a story of opulence, high society, and carefully crafted symbolism, and one that takes us behind the curtain of an event that was far more than it seemed. Let's take a trip back to January 22, 2005, when Melania Trump married Donald Trump at the luxurious Mar-a-Lago estate in Palm Beach, Florida. If a single word could define the day, it would be magnificent. The wedding reportedly cost close to $3 million, a staggering amount even by the standards of the mega-rich. But here's the thing. When an event like this comes with such an astronomical price tag, you start to wonder, what stories does it tell, and what secrets are hiding in the details? Let's start with one of the most show-stopping features of the wedding, Melania's dress. Designed by the legendary John Galliano for Christian Dior, this gown wasn't just a dress, it was a statement. Weighing nearly 50 pounds, it was a literal masterpiece, crafted with 300 feet of satin and adorned with intricate embroidery and crystal details. The dress reportedly took over 1,000 hours to make and made headlines worldwide. But behind its glitz lies a deeper message. This dress wasn't merely an expression of fashion. It was a deliberate assertion of Melania's elevated status. Let's start with one of the most show-stopping features of the wedding, Melania's dress. Designed by the legendary John Galliano for Christian Dior, this gown wasn't just a dress, it was a statement. Weighing nearly 50 pounds, it was a literal masterpiece, crafted with 300 feet of satin and adorned with intricate embroidery and crystal details. The dress reportedly took over 1,000 hours to make and made headlines worldwide. But behind its glitz lies a deeper message. This dress wasn't merely an expression of fashion, it was a deliberate assertion of Melania's elevated status. Galliano himself was known for his dramatic avant-garde designs, and Melania's choice of designer spoke volumes about her own aspirations and tastes. She wasn't just marrying into the Trump name, she was stepping into a new role, cementing her place in high society with a piece of couture so decadent, it practically demanded acknowledgement. Galliano himself, and what's a wedding without a cake to steal the show? Melania and Donald's custom-designed confection was a 7-tier masterpiece encrusted with over 500 white icing roses. Towering at over 5 feet, it looked more like a sculpture than dessert. But in contrast to its lavish appearance, the cake held a surprising secret. It wasn't sliced or served to the guests. Instead, it was left untouched as a decorative showpiece, with the guests enjoying smaller, less extravagant desserts instead. So, was this cake a metaphor, a visual feast meant solely for display, reflecting the image-first ethos of the entire event? Self was known for his dramatic, avant-garde designs, and Melania's choice of designer spoke volumes about her own aspirations and tastes. And of course, we can't forget the pièce de résistance of her outfit, the engagement ring. A 25-carat emerald-cut diamond valued at over $1 million, this Graf jewel became another symbol of the kind of life Melania was stepping into. But here's the twist. Graf diamonds has been tied to several high-profile controversies over the years. Raising the question, did the ring symbolize pure romance, or was it more a display of wealth and power? If the dress and jewelry weren't dazzling enough, let's move on to the wedding ceremony itself. It was held at the Episcopal Church of Bethesda by the Sea, a historic and picturesque venue. The choice of this church is intriguing when you consider the Trump family's complicated relationship with religion in public life. Some have speculated that the venue was as much about public image as it was about personal beliefs, a way of framing the event as one steeped in tradition, class, and propriety. But of course, the ceremony was only part of the story. The reception at Mar-a-Lago, Donald Trump's now infamous estate, set a new standard for indulgence. The gilded ballroom welcomed over 300 guests, including a mix of A-list celebrities, political heavyweights, and business elites. And this guest list, is where things get even more fascinating. of fascination. It wasn't just an uncontested show of grandeur, it was a puzzle, with every detail revealing layers of symbolism, strategy, and secrets. From the controversial diamond ring to the unsliced cake, the wedding's excess carries messages that go far beyond romance. It reminds us of the ways public figures use significant moments to reinforce, reshape, or even reimagine who they are. So, what's the biggest takeaway here? Melania's wedding wasn't simply a fairy tale celebration, it was a narrative. A carefully orchestrated event where every element was designed to communicate wealth, influence, and her place beside one of the most polarizing figures in modern history. Her wedding demonstrated that she could adapt, excel, and shine in the spotlight, even if it meant navigating the complexities of a world where power and image often take precedence over intimacy. And that raises the final question. When we look at Melania Trump's wedding, are we seeing the beginning of her journey as a public figure, or are we still missing pieces of the puzzle? Thanks for exploring the lavish and secret-laden details of Melania Trump's wedding with us. If this glimpse into high society and hidden meanings intrigued you, don't forget to like, comment, and check out our other videos for more untold stories and deeper dives into the world's most fascinating events.